Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It is Tuesday, July 11th. I am Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner, and I am joined by Mark Talercio, a executive producer of all things Jill on Money and Money Watch, at least Money Watch for the pod, and also a certified financial planner. Good day, Mark. How are you?
I am well. Here we are, almost approaching the midway point of July. Hard to believe, eh?
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like, oh, it's gone by fast? Do you feel like time is going by quickly because you have this kid and all of a sudden, it's tough to imagine like how this is moving beyond you?
No, that doesn't bother me at all. But as I've said many times before, considering what you and I do and how we're always working way in advance, time always seems like it's flying by. It's been that way for many years.
I know. It's very odd. It really is. And also, I was thinking about when we were both in London. And when I was in London, I think this happened for you also. And you basically are on East Coast time for working. And my clock got just shellacked when I was going back and forth. How about you?
Oh, yeah. That was, I'm trying to, what did we do? I think I did it late afternoon. So it was still early in the States for you. I'll be there soon. I'll be in London soon.
Are you going to be there for your birthday?
No. I'll be here for my birthday.
Are you turning a big number or not?
45. 45.
Oh, look at you pulling out that Italian just to make it bragging a little there. Just bragging a little bit. Hey, listen, if you would like to come on the air and talk to us about something going on in your financial life, we encourage you to go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we'll get your note. While you're there, you can buy my book. You can subscribe to the Jill on Money live service. And you can get a lot of other free things, but you should be at jillonmoney.com and bookmark it. That's the easiest way to find us no matter what. Right now, we are going to get someone on the air. Mark, get ready. We've got Susan, who's on the line from Texas. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
We're doing really well. So what brings you to us? What can we do for you?
Well, my husband and I got a pretty late start in terms of investing and saving. We have some extra cash flow now coming in every month that we just want to know where to prioritize it.
You know what? I've been talking to a lot of people who are super savers, so I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, I hope you're spending some money and having some fun. Are you?
I definitely am.
Okay. I'm not into the extreme saving. I'm just not. I mean, I think it's great for people who can do that. I'm just not that person. So, Susan, are you both working?
We're both working.
How old are you guys?
I am 43 and my spouse is 41, and we have 3 children.
How old are the kids?
They are 8, 5, and 3.
Woo, you're busy. Yeah. Are you working from home? Are you both working from home? What's going on?
Spouse works from home. I come into the office whenever I need to.
Oh, wow.
which with 3 kids, she probably goes in every day.
Yeah. It's like, honey, I really love to help you with the kids, but you know what? I got to go into work. Yeah. How much do you guys earn?
My spouse earns $61,000 as a base. Total is $67,000 with a bonus. My base is $380,000. And
I like your base better.
Yeah. And then with a bonus last year, last year was $240,000. So our total base income is about $440,000.
Hold on a second. Your base is $380,000, and what do you get as a bonus? What's the range?
Last year it was $240,000.
Holy smokes! What do you think is fair to count on?
Well, it's not really net, like there's profit sharing, there's capital contributions. Mm-hmm. So it's not really, the full throttle. I mean, I netted $115 to give you an example.
Oh, interesting.
It goes
okay.
Back, yeah.
So what do you think you guys are living on expense wise? Like, what do you spend right now?
Monthly between 10 and 15.
That's a big range. Can you narrow it for me? Should I just say 15?
Yeah, 12.5, 12. Yeah.
I'm saying 13, lucky 13. Yeah. Okay. So if your expenses are 13, do you have any debt? We'll talk about your house and your mortgage, but any other debt? Like, do you have a loan from college that's percolating, anything like that?
Everything has been paid off except our mortgage.
Okay. How much is your house worth?
Conservatively, probably, I would say $700,000.
Okay. What is the mortgage that remains?
The balance is $298,000.
Oh, what's the interest rate?
2.75.
Is that a 30-year?
It is a 30-year fixed.
Oh, great. So no paying that down early.
Right.
Do you work for some small company and you're buying into it? Like, what's happening?
It is a law firm. So part of the bonus is like a profit sharing that goes to my, the firm that manages and holds my retirement accounts. There's, equity contributions you make every year. So part of it goes back into the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the saving part. So let's talk about your spouse on the 61,000 or the 67,000. Is there a retirement plan?
He has a 401k and we max it out.
Okay. How much is in that 401k?
It's not a lot. It's like less than 15, let's say.
Okay. And so do you have a 401k with a profit sharing?
Correct.
How much is in there right now?
So my husband and I, across both of our 401ks, it's about 200.
Is there anything else that you have in retirement assets? Are there old IRAs or Roth IRAs kicking around anywhere?
We both have rollover IRAs from previous jobs, and that total is 583.
Oh, there's a big chunk of moolah. Okay. Any other investment accounts, brokerage accounts somewhere?
With minimal, a couple $1,000s here or there. That's it.
Okay. Though. How about just a savings account? Boring stuff on that.
We have an I-bond. We have $10,000 in an I-bond, and we have a cash about $75,000 in a high-yield savings account.
Okay, great. That's good. What should we do with these kids? Should we save for college for them or not?
So we would love to. That hasn't been a priority because of all of the loans and other things we've been paying off. I have about less than $20,000 across 3 529 accounts right now.
Are there any rich grandparents that are going to help?
Not that I know of.
Darn it. Okay. Although, listen, you live in Texas. You've got a great state system for college.
Yeah.
You kind of are painting a picture of like we got a late start, but it sounds not so much like you got a late start. It sounds like you paid off a bunch of stuff and you made this contribution in equity. So it's not as if, you're starting from zero. You got $500,000, almost 600,000 in these rollover accounts plus the 200,000. And you've got good savings. You've got a house you can afford. So it doesn't surprise me now that you're like, hey, wait, we have some extra cash flow. So after you pay the expenses of 13 grand, what do you think you have left over to allocate?
We have over $4,000 a month. Even actually, I should say $4,500 a month that was going to pay debt service on loans and partnership loans and other things. And now we don't know what to do with it. I will tell you one of the variables is we would love to move into a bigger house at some point. And so between a new house, between funding college and retirement, we just don't know where to prioritize that extra cash right now.
Could you, if I said to you, you're going to live so much better if you stay in this house, could you stay in this house, or are you like, no way, Jill, it's too tight, I can't do it?
Yeah, if we had to, we would, but then I'd probably try to send the kids to private school during the middle and high school years.
Don't you have to send them to private school anyway because Texas doesn't have good schools? How much? I mean, really, I get this from many people who are like, yeah, there's no state income tax and we have crappy schools.
Yeah. Now, as a former native New Yorker, I don't disagree with you, but our elementary school is wonderful, fortunately.
Okay. All right. So you're good for a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about a house then. If you were to make the move into a bigger house, how much more would we have to pay to get into that house?
So the range we're looking at is between 1.3 and 1.5.
I hate giving up that mortgage. I have to be honest. It's not the equity that I'm scared about. Like, honestly, I figure like there's a way to do this, but to give up that mortgage, is there any way could you add on to this house but you'd have to go to private school. How much is private school? Let's do this comparison the right way.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's between 15 and 20 a year.
Each.
Average, each.
That's a lot. Ay. But I have 2 years, right?
You have at least 2 years. Yeah.
Life insurance you guys have?
We are, yes, very well insured. I know you're going to ask. We do not have our estate documents done.
Of course, because you're an attorney. Why would you have documents?
Of course.
You happily have an estate planning attorney. It works with you, and you don't have documents.
We will get that done, I promise. But yeah, just want to put that out there.
Jeez. All right. So what should the game plan be with this 4,500? And knowing what we now know about the need to trade up in home?
I was just reading the email. So they got 70K saved. They want 250 for a future down payment. So they've got, they've got a ways to go.
I don't know if you need, wait a second. Why do we need 250 for a down payment?
Yeah. Aren't you going to have a lot of equity when you sell?
Yeah, there's already $400,000 of equity in the house.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, we would keep it as a rental.
No, you can't. There's no way. There is no way that, unless you're telling me it cash flows like crazy. Like, what could you get in rent for your house?
We could get between $3,000 and $4,000.
What's the mortgage payment?
$2,200. Taxes are 10.
But we need the equity. I don't know. I think you got to sell it. I'm sorry to say, unless something really amazing happens in the next 2 years. It's a good cash flow on that equity investment. It really is. But I'm just concerned. Okay, let's say they keep it. Let's see if we can try to keep it. The mortgage is $2,200. The insurance is, when you say $2,200, is that also insurance and taxes?
Yeah,
okay, so
that's,
and you said the income you could get would be $4,000. You think?
Conservative $3,500, but at least clear $1,000 a month, I would think.
Okay, I don't know. It's like a 3% return. I would cash out mostly because I think you're going to have sticker shock when you do your next mortgage. That's why.
Yeah.
So let's say you've got $1.5 million that you have to on your new home. Okay. Let's say between now, that $4,500 a month, you really can't invest it if you want to do this. You got to sock that away. I mean, maybe you put a little bit of money in the 529s. It really kind of depends. But let's say you did $1,000 each a month for the kids' 529s. Okay. And then the $1,500 a month, just put it into, brokerage / savings. It doesn't matter. And then over the next 2 years, you'll have another, $25,000 or so. And then you'll have whatever you've paid down on the house plus any accumulation. Let's say you end up putting down, $450,000. And now we got to finance, or, you might have to put down more. You might have to put down 500, whatever we get you to a, jumbo-ish. You're going to have $1 million mortgage. You're going to look at that and you're going to say, I can't believe we have to have $1 million mortgage, but that's what you're going to need. Right. And then you're going to get a new note. We'll have to see where rates are at the time. You won't be 2.75. If you're lucky, it'll be 4. Right. Mark, what's $1 million 30-year fixed at 4%?
Yeah. 4,800.
Right. So $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
So now you can certainly afford it because you're doing $2,200 now and you have $4,500 left. Taxes are going to be whatever they are. That's very low. Let's say $6,000 a month. I mean, you're going to be in okay shape. And presumably you could make more money, right? You're a young lawyer and you're in a firm that's hopefully growing. But if you stood still, you'd be popping a lot of money into retirement. You'd upgrade your home. You'd now be in the situation where the kids are in middle school and ready to go in the right place, right? So that's, I think, the game plan. So the weird thing is about the $4,500 a month. I would normally just say, great, take the $4,500 and bank it. But I do think that because you're talking about college as well, we got to do a little bit of everything, right? I mean, if you feel more like the house is the priority, then you can do less for the kids. Maybe you won't put as much in for the kids. What's going to happen is once you get the house, the trade up done, then you're going to have to start cranking on that 529 plan. That will be the hyper focus. But the only reason why I would say not to make that the hyper focus now is that we really have this clock that's starting because you have an 8-year-old and we got to get that kid into middle school in a place where, the mean streets of wherever you are in Texas are not going to eat that 8-year-old, 10-year-old up, right?
Yeah. And that's why I raised the question. I didn't know if you guys said, oh my goodness, you're so far behind in retirement. Like, don't even think about either one. Then
no, I think they can do it because you're a big earner. Is he going to be entitled to a pension?
No, unfortunately.
Tell him to go get a job with a pension and stop bothering us.
We talked about
that. But I mean, it's also the reality that she's making hundreds and hundreds. She's making $500,000 a year, and I got to tell her she can't buy a house. That seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah, well, they're going to buy the house. It's just whether or not they sell the other one.
No, you got to sell the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't sell the other one, unless something strange has happened. And you're like, okay, let's tell you the upside. The upside surprise could be that you're like, I made $500,000 when I spoke to you, Jill. 2 years later, I'm making $900,000 a year.
Right.
We might make a different choice. But if you're sort of in the same-ish place I think the retirement's going to be okay. Thank God for that 600 grand in rollover. And you're pushing the money into retirement right now. It's sort of happening. And you're willing to work, right? I think you can do it. Buy the house. Go crazy. I'm going to regret this, Mark. I'm going to have a nightmare about this. I really am. So listen, let's be clear. Susan, what's the number one thing? Is the stupid estate documents.
I know.
Did you not like estate when you were in law school? Is that what happened? You just were like, oh, I hate estate. Trust in estate's the most boring. Is that what happened for you?
It's just the one question, which is where are you going to leave your kids? And that's still...
Don't you have a sibling?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Is one better than the other, you think, kid-wise?
Possibly.
Wait a second. Let me ask you another question. Parents. Do you have parents who are alive?
Yes, we do.
You think they're good parents?
Wonderful parents, probably don't want to take on 3 minors at this point in their life.
I understand. Who do they live near? Which sibling? Any of them?
They are smart and they move to the middle of nowhere near no one. So
that's not smart because guess what? When they get sick, you're screwed. Now one of you has to deal with that. What about your husband's family? Anyone there?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just his parents. But yeah.
Pick somebody, just anyone. Do you have a cousin, somebody, a placeholder?
We'll find someone. Yeah, it's a priority.
Yeah, Mark will do it. Mark, how much are you charging to raise 3 children these days? You wanted Theo to have siblings.
Well, I never said that. Who said that?
Oh, sure you do. You do. Yeah. All right. I think you're in very good shape. Go buy a house. Go look at the very least and start saving your shekels, okay?
Great. Thank you. Can I ask one last question?
Why not?
What are your thoughts on backdoor Roth conversions? Each year we have converted a little bit, and I just hear different things in terms of, you should get it all into Roth eventually or just leave it as is because you're in a high tax bracket now.
Here's what I got to figure out with you, honey. The deal is I got to get you in this house, and I do not want you to use any of your excess cash converting anything until we get you into this house. And then I want to reassess.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because right now, your number one goal is the house. You don't kill yourself and work so hard and have 3 kids so you don't live in a place where you feel really good. If I said to you, yeah, can you stay in the house? And you're like, yeah, it's okay. I need to spend $100 grand and do another bathroom. That would be one thing. But if I have to spend $60,000 a year out of pocket for 3 kids, that's just way more than buying the house that you want to be in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you have any other questions for us, ma'am?
No, thank you both so much. This was wonderful advice.
Great. Good luck, and let us know if we can help out.
Will do. Thank you.
If you have a situation that you'd like us to think about with you, see, it's like a collaborative effort. We encourage you to go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button. We'll get your note. If you want to join us live, just check that box. Mark does everything else. And just know that if you're shy and you're like, I couldn't tell my story with all these folks listening, we'll change your name. Don't worry. You think all these people have these names? We make up half the names, We can even change where you live so people don't spot you. That's the way we do it. If not, if you're just shy and you don't want to come on, that's cool. Don't worry about it. So send us lots of information if you're not going to be joining us live, and we will read those emails from time to time. Mark Talercio is our co-host and our executive producer, and he is now the web king. How about that? Karen is fired. No, she's not fired, but she's retired. So Mark is the web king. Long live the queen. Long live the king. Mark, you are now ascending to the throne. How do you feel about it?
Hear, hear.
We're going to have a coronation for you. We're distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. And do me a favor. Try to do something nice for someone else today. It will make that person feel so good. It's going to make you feel good. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. We'll talk to you on Thursday.